Good evening, everyone. My name is Edgar, and you're watching Mystical Conspiracies. Hey guys, we got a really cool story submitted to us to be read to you tonight. It was submitted by Peck and written in 1992. The name of this story is Scarecrow, and let me tell you, I read through it, and there's a little bit of gore going on, so if you are squeamish, you may want to cuddle up next to somebody while listening. Alright, so let's dive right in, and here we go. "Come on," he says. "I want you to see this." He runs while holding her hand, dragging the girl behind him. "It's 5 of 8. He speaks quietly now, still trudging through the woods. "Where are we going?" she laughs. "You'll see. Now shh," he tells her. They come to a cliff top, while still shrouded by the forest. It is not a big cliff, only about 20 or 25 feet above the backyard of a house. The house is a Cape-style structure with the standard white paint. There is a strawberry red trim around the windows and door. Sit down," he commands, and they squat immediately as he looks out over the yard. "Every night, this guy puts this thing outside to scare away burglars, trespassers, and that kind of thing." He pauses. "It's this dummy thing. It looks like a shiny gray corpse. Really realistic." He pauses again, and she remains quiet. "A couple of years ago, his kid was killed by some thief who decided to hit the house, and then a few months later, he bought this thing." He motions towards the house and its presumably male occupant. "Now the legend goes," he continues, "that when the kid got killed, Mr. Dillinger screamed at the sky and begged the creatures of the night to bring him revenge on all who are like the thief." The backlight turns on and interrupts the boys' story. They watch quietly. A man opens the door and walks out while carrying a large package. The package was wrapped in black garbage bag plastic. It was in a crucifix shape with a bit of a 4x4 sticking out of the bottom. It is human-sized. Alright, before we continue, I'd like to pause for a moment. We are a new channel, and these guys have really helped us out a lot and helped us grow and be able to bring content. So I just want to ask you guys to send some love over to bizbin.com. They've got a really nice community growing there, and actually there's a couple of really creepy items that I saw. So maybe you could check them out. You could set up auctions, you can list products, make a store. There's a whole social community where people can make groups and add friends and all that wonderful stuff. So you guys can benefit from using that site. If you're looking to sell or looking to shop, please check out bizbin.com. They also have a Facebook group called the bizbin.com community, and there's a lot of really helpful tips and tricks, and the customer service folks are definitely on point. Alright, now then, let us return to this creep fest. The man looks as if he is between the ages of 30 and 40. He is what the couple would call a country bumpkin, complete with overalls and a white t-shirt. He drags the large item, which looks like it outweighs Mr. Dillinger, to the center of the yard. The old man places the 4x4 post into its predetermined hole in the ground. The hole seems to go down for a few feet, which diminishes the size of the thing by about 25%. Once he is sure that it is secure, he begins to undo the tape which fastens the black plastic to the object. This is continuing to increase the curiosity of the girl. The tape, being removed, is now cast aside, and Mr. Dillinger grabs the top of the plastic cocoon and pulls. "Wow!" the girl whispers in awe, and the man looks around as if he had heard her. When old Dillinger moves out from in front of the light source, they can see the beastly thing. It looks as if the guy who made this had modeled it from a creature featured in a Tales from the Crypt episode. The creature looks slightly human, but most of it is covered with what seemed to be a dark gray tar. It is stationed on a cross, which appears to be smeared with oil and grease. But something tells the girl that it is not just oil and grease. Perhaps it is blood, which has been drying over a long period of time. The thing is relaxed, as if it had died on the cross, although the two kids know that this is but a work of art by some twisted sculptor. Dillinger walks back to the house and enters through the squeaky back door. The backlight turns off, and the simple Scarecrow security system looks more sinister than ever. "You didn't finish the story," she whispers, with a bit more volume than before. "Oh yeah, anyway, he called to the darkness and all the powers of hell, and then went crying inside, but not crying tears of remorse. These were tears of pain and hatred. Then the next day, he stumbled upon an antique store and bought this thing." The boy does another signature pause for drama. "The strange thing is that the store closed down that same day and supposedly moved across the country somewhere." "Hey, let's get out of here, Tommy. This is making me spooked." They get up, and Tommy still sets his gaze on the thing. "I come up here whenever I get a chance to see this thing," Tommy says with a whisper tone. "Holy crap, I think it moved." Tommy shifts his gaze to the cover of the woods for a second, as if to reassure himself of an escape route. Then, from behind, he hears a loud cracking sound, followed by a big snap, and then a quiet female scream. Tommy turns around and sees Alicia sliding loudly down the cliff into the realm of Dillinger. Tommy looks over into the dark yard and sees that the beast was no longer on its cross. "Alicia, get up here quick!" He is calling to her, louder than the way they were speaking before. "Hurry up!" "Relax," she says, with a snotty edge to her tone. Suddenly, from behind Tommy, there are more cracking sounds. He turns, and in an instant, two large fists are pounded through Tommy's ribcage and pulled apart. This causes Tommy's chest area to become ripped wide open, which exposes his organs to the atmosphere. Tommy falls. "Tommy!" Alicia beckons to her companion, who is in no position to answer. She grabs the roots and stumps that she could find to help pull herself back up to the top. "Tommy!" she calls again, with the same lack of response. She is coming ever closer to the top, the end of her ascension. She reaches her hand over the edge and is only a few seconds from being back on solid ground. She peeps her head over the top, and her neck is grabbed by an enemy hand, which is still unseen by her eyes. As she stops in midair, over the edge of the long drop, she gets a good look at what it is that suspends her in this dangling state. It is the creature on the cross, looking up at her as she struggles to get a breath. Its eyes are dark, as if there are no eyes at all. Its face looks melted, as if it had been decayed over 1,000,000 years. With the hand that is not occupied, the demon puts his already bloody fist through the lower torso area and pushes it up towards her head. He then pulls his arm out, straight out, towards himself. Unfortunately, this has the negative consequence of completely destroying her sternum and all of the organs that got in the way. What was left intact on her body is dropped down into the yard, and all is returned to quietness. No sound remains but the crickets of the night. The next sound is that of a bird. It is morning, and the back door on the Dillinger house is opened. Mr. Dillinger gets out the hose from the side of the house and sprays down the dark angel on the cross, washing all of the red stains off into the grass. The hose did not work very well, but he put the plastic on anyway. He pulls it up out of the ground and drags it into the house, where it lies dormant until the moon creeps up from its rest. The end. Well then, my gentle viewers, I hope you enjoyed the creep factor on that one. I actually really enjoy story time, so I hope you do too. Now, as you know, we are a new channel, so if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. And also, be sure to take a peek at bizbin.com. It's without sponsors like them, we wouldn't be able to bring you these videos. So, on that note, I will bid you farewell. Once again, this is Edgar, and you're watching Historical Conspiracies. Have a creepy day.